Old Fashioned Football on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by EdgeBoost, the bank account built for better. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet with promo code SGPN and get a free Refs Are Terrorists t-shirt. Claim your shirt at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/refs.
Hey, what's up? This is Sam Acho, and you're listening to Old Fashioned Football.
Welcome to Old Fashioned Football. If you're wondering who you listen to, this is JMark. You can find me in the X at JMark Football. And if you're wondering who us is, that's the Old Fashioned Football Podcast. Welcome. Thanks for joining. You can find us on the X at Old Fashioned FB. Before I keep going to talk about this NFL news, we got some bets, we got some whiskey reviews. I guess just review one whiskey, but two reviews, one from each of us. I got to introduce my co-host on the pod and in life. You can find her on the X at the Mark. How you doing today?
Doing good. Made it this far in the week.
Yeah, it's Thursday.
It is Thursday.
It's Thursday. CFL tonight. I'm sure you are stoked.
Oh, I am just jumping out of my skin.
I knew it. Yeah, it is Thursday. The week has been interesting. Mm-hmm. Last time we talked about mowing date on Life on the Acreage.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, do we have an update on the acreage?
No, I think we should leave the acreage out of it. This week has been like nostalgia day after day because we are at that age. We have reached the age where our parents don't want our stuff in our rooms back home.
Right.
Over the last couple of years, I feel like your parents have brought boxes to you. Like they've slowly packed up your childhood home and brought it here. My parents have done that to me.
Yeah.
Like everything, because they're getting ready to sell my childhood home. How dare they?
How dare they?
And so, yeah, this week, both my parents, but I think some of the way that it was brought in is totally just like my dad, like he takes I had a huge bulletin board with high school and college photos and just all kinds of random shit on it. He took the whole thing off the wall, didn't take anything off of it, just brings it into our house.
As one does.
So it's been interesting. And you know what I thought about?
Me. Oh,
no,
it wasn't me.
The next time we are in my childhood home, Jimmy G will not be on my wall.
No more Jimmy G.
You won't be sleeping next to a photo of him anymore.
Thankfully. I'm thankful for that.
Yeah, but I haven't come across his photo. I don't know if it got thrown away. I'm assuming it got thrown away. I didn't see my Jimmy G photo.
Oh, man, what a shame. We did not inherit that.
Maybe I didn't get to that box yet. There are still boxes.
Yeah.
I had more stuff in my room back home than I realized, I guess.
Yeah, I believe I sent my parents a Instagram thing, and it said, convincing my parents to clean all their shit out because this is not the type of inheritance I was looking for, or something of that sort. So yeah. I guess that happens, right? They're ready to move on from our shit. We don't want it.
Well, no, I want to go back home and walk into my childhood bedroom and have my shit on the walls.
I liked the framed photo of you being a whiz kid.
Oh my gosh.
From when you were
that
5.
had to be in the back of the closet. Yeah, my parents, they framed some interesting things from my early my 5-year-old achievements.
Yeah, well, you got to have achievements at 5 instead of like, he did not eat the glue today. That's a good achievement.
My achievements were higher.
Achievements were higher. That's fair. Hey, we're going to be covering NFL news today, including a couple of running back signings, who's reporting and not reporting to mandatory camp, because last week it was like, here's who isn't at OTAs, but it is voluntary. This is mandatory. So now it's kind of a bigger deal.
Yes.
We got some league drama to talk about, and we're going to give you some bets. I'm going to debut the bottle lock bets, which I'm excited about. And what are we drinking today?
Well, it is Top Shelf June.
It is.
So to continue with that, so last week we did Blanton's. This week we are doing Weller Antique 107.
Yes. Yeah. I'm excited about this because everybody knows Weller. By the way, we touched on it last week that you don't really take these higher end
I haven't even
whiskeys
tried the
or bourbons and put them in a mixed drink. You just drink them neat. So when I was pouring this in there, it hurt just a little bit. I was just like, oh gosh, because it's not, we are not made of money. It is not a cheap bottle. It's going to be even worse next week when we do Weller 12. But anyways, I was making sure I didn't spill a damn drop.
I don't want to do Weller 12 in an old fashioned.
We got to grade it in an old fashioned so it stays on the grading scale. I say we just make like a mini old fashioned. We cut everything in half. That's what I think we'll do.
And pass it back and forth.
Yeah. You just made it sound like we were smoking dope or something. Let's pass it back and forth. We're turning this up into Willie Nelson here. No. I made sure I didn't spill a damn drop. Because sometimes when you got the jigger and you pour it and it's a little bit spills. It's like, oh, well. This, I was making sure I did not spill it. Before we keep going to get right into the NFL news, got to let you know that you can get all your free picks and podcasts for the Stanley Cup, College Baseball World Series. That's in Omaha, not too far from us. The NBA Finals, CFL. Get all of it on the SGPN app. Get it wherever you get your apps. The Play Store, the Apple. What's the Apple Store called? Just the Apple Store? Where do you get your apps? Apple Store?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I just go to the app.
What's the app called?
The app.
Oh my God.
I will find out.
Do you know your phone at all?
I just go to it. I don't think about what it's called.
Well,
way to put me on the spot here. I was not prepared for this quiz.
I just assumed you would know. My apologies.
It's the App Store. The App Store.
Okay, the App Store. It's the Play Store for you Android users. I don't know about Google. I don't have a Google phone, so I can't tell you that.
I don't know.
The Google Store, maybe?
I told you it's the app. It's the App Store.
The app.
It's the application app.
Where is it? Can you point it?
Here.
The App Store.
App Store.
Apple Store.
App. Oh, wait. There are two P's. Never mind. We're done.
Yeah, there are two P's in Apple.
No, but it's not Apple Store.
You do not own an Apple phone. It's an Apple phone.
We're moving on. Please move on from that. That was...
Let's move on and let's get right into some drama, some NFL drama. And we're going to start it with a team we love to pick on. Miranda's like, quit picking on me.
Yeah.
Pick on somebody else. So who better?
You let me talk long enough and I make myself sound stupid. So keep moving.
who better to pick on as Bears fans than the Packers? And we have to say that because the Packers have pushed us around as of late. Mm-hmm. And so we have to poke at them anytime we can.
Yeah. And they've released cornerback Jaire Alexander. After really not being able to get anybody to trade for him.
Yeah.
He was out there for trades. I think that this is kind of like a controversial move, but it is saving the Packers more than $35 million. Finances tend to come into play for these types of moves.
Sure.
But I also think you have to imagine that injuries played into this because he only played 16 of the last 38 possible games in the past 2 seasons. That's a big part of why the Packers didn't want to keep him under his current contract.
Yeah. And the reports were that they were trying to find common ground on like, hey, we kind of want you to be here, but we don't want to pay you all this money that is in your contract. And so because of these injuries, they couldn't come to an agreement on who was willing to budge, I guess.
Right. And this is like a pretty big deal for a couple of different reasons because one, the Packers are pretty notorious for taking care of their guys.
They are.
And despite his injuries these past couple of years, he's been part of the team since 2018.
Yeah.
He's one of the guys.
One of their guys. Yeah. And it's also surprising to me because they have very little depth at cornerback, very little depth.
Yes.
So it's not like it was like, oh, we've got these suitable replacements. We're ready to go for them. We don't really need him anymore. I think that's why it was such a surprise to me.
Yeah, and I'm just to kind of recap his career with the Packers. He tallied 287 tackles, 1.5 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, and 12 interceptions, including 2 interceptions last year and a touchdown. He was also a Pro Bowl selection in 2020 and again in 2022. And he had a 78.3 coverage grade.
So he's not some bum.
No, he's not a bum. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, and his coverage grade from PFF was 78.3 in the games that he was healthy last year, though.
Yeah.
But that was 16th among 222 graded cornerbacks. So he's a top cornerback. He's
not
up there.
A bum.
No, not a bum.
Not a bum. Because every team has at least 2 cornerbacks on the field at any given time. Your free safety and your safety as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes you got 3 cornerbacks because of the slot cornerback. But to be 16th overall when you have at least 64 cornerbacks that are on the field at any given time, not some bum. The funniest thing to me, now this could be just like something they did while the media was there. I think it has gotten overblown, but again, we're Bears fans, so we are going to pick on the Packers. Something that we did see out of training camp, they have reports that they're trying wide receiver Bo Melton at cornerback right now in practice. They have a bunch of receivers.
Solid replacement.
Right? Let's try this receiver, see if he can do it. He can't catch the ball, so let's see if he can be a cornerback and cover. They do have a bunch of receivers that they're going to have to figure out what to do with. They drafted 2 more this year. Not all of them are going to make the cut. It is a funny thing. They say like defenders are cornerbacks because they were receivers that couldn't catch the ball. So what kind of message is it saying about Bo Melton?
You're sucking at your job. Get in the corner.
Right? Become a cornerback. Get in the corner. Shout out to Channing. Cheers.
Hello.
Channing, we are reviewing Weller Antique 107
Antique
later
107.
tonight. I think, not just because of this news. I'm just a Packer hater, but it's safe to say that I'm fading the Packers this year. I'm taking under 9.5 wins, which is plus 100 on DraftKings because, why not? Fuck the Packers, right?
I guess so.
Why not? We're going to talk about some more news, some training camp stuff, running back stuff. But before we do, I got to let you know that we're brought to you by Edge Boost. Edge Boost is the first ever bank account built for bettors, ensuring all gambling transactions are approved. No usage fees, no minimums, earn cashback rewards, and 100% approval for all betting deposits. That's right, no credit check either. Get in there, DGen. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet with promo code SGPN. And this is the last week to sign up and get a free Refs or Terrorists t-shirt. So go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/refs to claim your free shirt. We're also brought to you by the Circa Ultimate Fantasy Football Giveaway. Circa Resort and Casino in Las Vegas is giving away the ultimate fantasy football experience for a 12-person league to draft in Vegas and be treated like VIPs for their stay, which sounds awesome to me. You're going to get a limo ride from the airport, a $5,000 tab for the stadium swim, and a hotel stay for you and your 11 league mates. $5,000 tab is very generous, if you ask me. And you can always get 15% off all the Circa properties with promo code SGP15. Doesn't have to be for this event. Can be for anything. SGP15 gets you 15% off your stay. Enter the Ultimate Fantasy Football Contest, though, for free. That's right. It's free at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Circa. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/CIRCA. And there's not a lot of time left to do that. So make sure you get your entries in today. Tell your league mates to get it in today. Just make sure you get in. Yeah, why not? All right, we are back. That would be a lot of fun. I'm not going to lie. Not going to lie. We still have not been to the Circa. That would be a great way to be introduced to it, right?
Yeah, take the whole league.
Take the whole damn league. Already behind on my banner counter. It's up now. And we're going to talk about running backs because we got a couple new running backs in new places, new faces, new places. Why don't we start with Nick Chubb?
Yes, let's start with Nick Chubb.
Start with the Chubb.
He signed a 1-year deal. I think it was worth $5 million with the Houston Texans. After passing his physical, must pass the test.
Yeah,
passed it.
Healthy again, apparently.
So this means he obviously did not re-sign with the Browns after he finished just 10 games over the course of the prior 2 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
He had that knee injury, foot injuries. The main one was the week 2 of 2023 when he suffered a knee injury.
Yeah, and that was actually the same knee that he had already had a complete blowout before in. They had to repair everything again. He underwent surgeries for ACL, MCL, meniscus, and the medial capsule, I believe it's called. And he missed all of 2023 after that, and the first 6 games of 2024.
Yes, in 2024, he played 8 games before he broke his foot in week 14.
Yeah.
But then when he played, he didn't look the same.
He did.
He was only averaging 3.3 yards per carry in 2024. Granted, the Browns not the best team, but
they haven't been though.
No.
Right?
No.
Yeah.
They're not a great team. They have not been a great team for a while. And Chubb has always been a stud though.
Yeah, he has. I think he was at like 5.1 yards before his injury, so you saw a decline.
I think the biggest thing for me with this signing is that the Texans already have a veteran running back in Joe Mixon. So that automatically, to me, I'm always thinking about fantasy football. You're thinking about fantasy football and betting. How is that gonna impact it with them having him now?
Yeah. Also, real quick note: the Bears worked Nick Chubb out and did not sign him, and to me, that's kind of a glaring thing because we have DeAndre Swift, we have Roshan Johnson, I guess, Travis Homer, and Kyle Monongade. So yeah. I don't know. Just if the Bears didn't sign him and didn't need him, seems odd. But anyways, as far as Joe Mixon, fantasy football, I've kind of been going back and forth on whether this actually affects him or not. And I don't think it's going to. I think it'll affect him some. It's going to be a little annoying. I think more so in betting when you bet Mixon to go over a certain yardage, the Texans are up, and so then they trot out Chubb. I think for them, I mean, Mixon's the stud here. I don't see any reason that Mixon is going to lose too many touches to Nick Chubb. He ran for 1,016 yards last year, 11 touchdowns. Right now, his number's at 875.5 yards. So obviously the books kind of feel like it could affect him. But I disagree, and I'm on the over at -114.
Okay. I kind of agree with your assessment there because, Mixon did decline a little in the second half of the season, going from 4.8 yards per carry to 3.4 yards per carry. However, I think the main thing is that he was injured and out for 3 games. Then their backup, Dameon Pierce, did not pull his weight. I think Chubb will give them someone that they don't have to completely stray away from the run game, and then they can rely on him if Mixon is going to get hurt again. But I agree. I don't think that there's a way that Chubb is going to take too many snaps from Mixon.
Yeah. I don't think they can afford to take Mixon off the field, honestly. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you agree with me.
Are you okay over there?
Yeah, I got a little feedback that our sound sounds a little different, so I'm just making sure everything is set correctly. Because we want to have good sound. Why not?
Is it me? It's always me.
I don't know if it's you, but we can blame you.
No, I don't hook up the mics before this.
That's fair.
Do you know how many times we've started and we're rolling and my mic wasn't plugged in?
Well, I'm looking and everything. All our levels look good. You talk a little.
Okay, I'm talking.
Yep, you're good.
Okay.
Everything's looking good on our side. So who knows? I do know there's been big Google outages today. There's been outages on things like WordPress, and we no longer use StreamYard, but StreamYard's been out. Otherwise, we wouldn't even be doing this pod right now. So yeah, maybe it has something to do with that. Gremlins in the system. So who knows? Who knows? Right?
Yes.
Gremlins in the system. That's always a possibility. That there's a gremlin, especially here. Why not? It's Iowa. There's always gremlins around. You disagree?
I'm out.
All right. Well, let's talk about these camp. Who's reporting? Who isn't? Let's start with who is at camp.
James Cook.
Yeah,
we talked about him last week. He's wanting an extension with the Bills, even though, we don't think he's going to get it, but he is at camp and he's participating. This points to good signs that, he doesn't plan on doing any type of holdout or anything like that. I think that this is going to be kind of a prove it year for Cook, where he'll work to get a new contract, whether it's from the Bills or someone else.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree with that. Another
Mhm.
guy that we talked about last week that was not at OTAs, but now is at mandatory minicamp, and that's Kirk Cousins,
Mhm.
Mr. Slacks himself. Hard to say if this is to help the team or if he just wants to avoid the fine. I mean, Kirk Cousins has made a lot of money in his career, but he still dresses like he shops at Kohl's. So I feel like he's very frugal with his dollars.
Yeah.
And maybe does not want
He's
to
down
be
to earth,
fined.
okay?
He's
There's
down to
nothing wrong
earth.
with that.
He did say they asked him about it, and he said he's going to be there and just focus on making sure that the team's the best that it can be, and the quarterback room is the best that it can be. Classic Kirk Cousins. I mean, he's just
Yes.
like Mr. Nice Guy.
Yeah.
After the show Quarterback, I think it was 2 years ago that he was on it, everybody was like, oh, I'm so surprised that Kirk Cousins is such a down-to-earth, likable guy. It's like, have you not watched anything with Kirk Cousins? Of course he's a down-to-earth, likable guy. That's who he is.
Yep. Gotta love you some Kirk Cousins.
I like the I believe they're on a plane or the team bus. He's got no shirt on. He's wearing the chains, and he looks like he's trying to rock with the young kids. And it's just like,
How old is he?
Kirk Cousins?
Yeah.
Probably younger than me, if that's
I was
where you're
gonna
going
say
with
young
this.
kids. Isn't he a young kid himself?
Well, I don't
Not
think
as much as I
he's
guess.
not a rookie
No.
by any means.
He's young.
Well, let's find out right
Yeah.
now. He's 36.
Holy shit.
He's older than
Okay.
you.
He's older than me. Never
Yeah.
mind. He's trying to
Never mind. He's old.
fit in with the youngins. Okay, fine. Another person at camp is Cowboys linebacker, edge rusher Micah Parsons. Parsons is obviously one of the best pass rushers in the game right now. I know.
One of the best what?
Pass rushers. Say pass rushers 5 times fast. Say it.
I won't do
He's
it.
a pass rusher.
Not a pass
I need a
rusher.
big pause in between there so I don't go pash.
Pash. He's
Pash.
Pash.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Please, let's move on. I've had enough dumb moments today. We're done. But yes, one of the best pass rushers in the game right now. He's on his last year of his contract.
Mhm.
And I want everybody to remember that Prescott and the Cowboys got a deal done literally right before the start of the season last year.
True.
So there's a possibility that this deal may not get done until way later.
Yeah.
But Parsons is at camp either way. So all good things.
I would love to see him or one of the other Pash rushers.
Stop it. I'm going to keep saying that if you say that.
I would love to see them on the Bears. I mean, I like Montez Sweat, but I do think that we could use a little bit more help. Just a little bit.
Mhm.
That's all. Just saying. Nick Fortune
stop.
checking in. He said pass rusher 5 times fast, just easily.
Well, if I was typing, if I was a keyboard warrior, yeah.
Oh, she's
Sure.
calling you out. We're going to get to some of the guys who are not at camp. But before we do, Miranda, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about Underdog?
Yes, we are brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog is going long for the NBA Finals with their extender bonus. Hop in game 1, and the longer the series goes, the bigger the bonus gets. Now is a perfect time to get in on your NFL best ball drafts. Don't forget to follow our socials for UFL and CFL picks. And go sign up with promo code OFFSGPN to claim your special pick plus first-time deposit offer of up to $1,000 in bonus credits. That's UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code OFFSGPN.
Bonus alert. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. You've heard us talk about Rhythm before, and they just dropped a game-changing feature called Power Trends. These are AI-detected patterns where Rhythm's model has consistently won and has a high return on interest. Think of they're looking at Dedrick Mills and they say, hey, this guy keeps rushing for a bunch of touchdowns, and it's gonna win 59% of the time. Take his touchdown prop. Power Trends are updated daily and exclusive to Rhythm. No touts, no noise, just clean data-backed bets. Download the Rhythm app and check out the Power Trends and start betting smarter. You know we will be. Get your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. We're also brought to you by mybookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet on every sport, including the NBA Finals and Stanley Cup and CFL. MyBookie accepts customers from a ton of different locations, and it's easy deposit and lightning fast payouts using crypto. Get your Dogecoin ready. Head over to mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN, and for a 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Bonus alert. Terms and conditions apply. That's mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. All right, we are back. Let's continue with this training camp talk, and let's talk about some guys that are at training camp. Or we talked about guys that are at training camp. Let's talk about the ones that
not.
aren't. Yes.
Yep.
This is a bit of a bigger list than the guys that were notably showing up. Now, everybody that's at training camp is at training camp. Just throwing that out there. But those were some of the names that we thought might not show up because they weren't at OTAs. Let's start with Steelers and TJ Watt. Apparently, the arrival of Aaron Rodgers has not been enough to make him appear at camp.
Wouldn't make me appear at camp either.
Probably
make me not go to camp.
Right. The married Aaron Rodgers. I don't know if you saw that.
He's married?
He's allegedly
How did I
married
miss that? I sent you, I'm sure you're sick of me today with the Insta reels. I sent you reel after reel after reel of Rodgers.
I looked at 0 of them, but I'm excited now. No, he's apparently married. Somebody at a press conference, his first day camp, mentioned that there's a ring on your finger. And he's like, yeah, it's a wedding ring. I'm married. Been married a couple months now. And we're just like, this guy just wants to be Josh Allen. That's all it is. He's like, Josh Allen got married. I bet he married himself. Dennis Rodman himself. He married himself.
No, but listen, this guy loves to be the center of attention.
Yeah.
Why would he not make news, like happy news about himself? What you would think would be happy news.
Right.
Why would he not put that out there? I didn't know about it, and I know most of the shit going on with Aaron Rodgers more than I want to.
More than you want to. I have a feeling that it is just that he married himself. That's my guess. Anyways, TJ Watt not there, but Watt, he's looking for a new deal. When he's healthy, he's an elite pass rusher.
Yes,
he's a game changer. He's had 108 sacks in his career, including 11.5 last year, 19 in 2023, and 22.5 in 2021. He's had double-digit sacks every year except 2017, his rookie year, and 2022, where he missed most of the year. I think a deal's going to get done because they can't afford to not have him as a Steeler, you know? So I think a deal is imminent, but he's not there right now. Real quick, shout out to the chat, Mike saying, are you guys going to watch the UFL championship at 8 p.m. on ABC, 7 p.m. for us? But yeah, of course. Make sure you check out the UFL gambling podcast. We just came off of that, or I just came off of that. Sorry, you were not there.
I was not there.
But I took Michigan to win the game. They're minus 3-point favorites. I do believe that they are going to win. Bryce Perkins is the best player in that league, and I love the over if you're looking to get in on some bets for it. Anyways, sorry about that.
No, why are you sorry?
Who are you taking? Do you like Michigan or DC Defenders? Bryce Perkins or Jordan Ta'amu?
I feel like this is a trick question. I normally pick right for you.
I don't know what that means, but
I don't know. I can't remember if you do or do not like Ta'amu.
Well, I do not. That's probably why the name's sticking
I
out
was
to
like,
you.
I don't think I should pick them.
He's actually looked very good this year. So anyways, Mike says, love the hat. Go Michigan. You can get yourself a hat over at sportsgamblingpodcast.com. That one's a little bit different on the screen there, but yeah, you can get yourself a hat if you'd like. Help support us. But yeah, I think Michigan wins the game. So I agree.
I clearly do not watch the UFL.
The UFL. You watch it sometimes when I put it on.
Yes.
And you're around, but
I would say the first season they were back, I knew everything.
Yeah. You were in
time has gotten away from me.
You were in the USFL.
To my time management in my personal life has had to be managed, and the UFL got managed out.
You were in a USFL fantasy football league that first year it came back. I think you did quite well, if I remember correctly.
I did. Of course I did.
Of course you did.
So anyway, back to training camp.
Yeah.
Another person who's not at training camp right now is Terry McLaurin.
Scary Terry.
Yes. He is looking for an extension and more money from the Washington Commanders. The funny thing about this one is he'll probably get his extension, and he probably feels holding out will get it done because 3 or 4 years ago, he did this same thing and got more money.
I actually just saw a thing on that too, and I forgot that.
Yeah. So if it worked again, why not try it again, I guess?
Right, yeah. Right.
Or I guess if it worked again, if it worked before,
try it again. It'll work again.
Yeah, he is one of the better receivers out there. He's been with Washington even through the really shit years.
Yeah.
So it definitely feels like, he deserves the big payday that is probably coming his way. Also, just a quick note, not really a surprise, but a couple of Dolphins are holding out Jonnu Smith, not at camp, as he reportedly wants traded. And Jalen Ramsey, who is expected to be cut or traded, is also not showing up.
Feels like a fade the Dolphins year.
It does. It really does.
Feels like a fade the Dolphins year. The funny thing about Scary Terry, I'd have to look. I don't remember when he got drafted there, but I believe he's played for 3 Washington teams. I believe he's played for the Washington Redskins, the Washington football team, and now the Washington Commanders.
All the same team.
Yeah, just a little fun fact. I think they should go back to the Washington football team. I know a lot of people say Redskins, touchy, whatever. Football
Why
team.
the football team?
I don't know. It was just fun, just I'm rooting for the football team. So
no, it was lame. It was their lame in between before they could finally decide on something.
That's fair. Apparently Aaron Rodgers' wife is Brittany with an I, couple I's in there. It looks
Brittany
like.
Who?
Yeah. Who is this?
Give
person?
us the deets.
Is it Brittany Murphy? Who is this? Maybe it's a nobody that didn't want to be in the spotlight. Maybe he didn't make it about him because she requested not to. That's hard to believe from Aaron Rodgers, but maybe.
We don't really know him personally. We just know his persona.
I know him personally
in football,
and I hate him.
He's not a likable guy.
No,
in the media.
He is not,
and on the field.
Agreed. Now, like we said, this is not OTAs anymore. This is mandatory minicamp. Keyword mandatory, meaning the teams can officially start finding these players. Now, some of the teams do waive it and good conscience, I guess, of like, hey, let's keep working together. But if they don't, they can be fined up to $104,000 if 3 days are missed. That's a lot of money to us.
It will give you $104,000 added to your contract after you miss these days, and
Right.
they'll just take it right back.
A lot of money to us, not a lot of money to some of these guys, but still
Which
a big
is crazy.
Deal. It is crazy. Can you imagine just being like, oh, if I don't show up, I have to owe you $104,000. Yeah, that's fine. Like,
Nope.
we can't talk about players not being at camp without talking about the Bengals because they have 2 players not there, and it's kind of a shit show.
Yeah, the first is defensive end Trey, son of Hendrick.
Yeah,
for you.
There you go. It's like you knew I was going to say it.
I knew you were going to say it, so I'm glad to get it out of the way so that you're not interrupting me again with this son of whoever.
Son of Hendrick.
Yeah, so Trey Hendrickson is holding out for a new contract. He's been fairly vocal about how disappointed he's been on the lack of progress and communication. The team spokesperson came out and said that they felt things were good. He disagrees.
It has been awkward.
And I just feel like this is getting messier and messier, especially after they just gave big paydays to Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. This is the deal that I kind of feel least confident in getting done
because it's the Bengals.
I mean, yes, kind of. Hendrickson has had 17.5 sacks in each of the last 2 seasons. He's one of the best in the league, and I do think he deserves the payday.
I agree.
I mean, I don't know what he's currently getting. Do you know what his current contract is?
Well, he's on the last year of it. I don't know what the financials of the last year are, but it's not
talent-wise
like the player he is.
He should get something. Yeah. But again, like you said, this is the Bengals.
It's a weird situation. We've talked about it before because, like, if you or I were doing very well at work, it's not like we could just say, hey, if I don't get a big pay increase with some nice guarantees, I ain't showing up tomorrow, and you guys can just wait. Yeah, it wouldn't work for us. Works for these guys, though. It's a disappointing situation for Hendrickson, seeing that these offensive guys got paid. Granted, Jamar Chase probably deserves it, but to see the wide receiver too, T. Higgins, get a big payday, and then he's got to be, and he's got to be like, wait a minute, I'm helping carry this defense, and you're not paying me. That's got to be disheartening to say the least. And we will welcomely pay you at Chicago. Come over to the Bears. I did it in Madden. I traded for Trey Hendrickson, and it has worked out swimmingly. So, why not? Bears, just follow my model.
Yeah. Well, he is not the only Bengals defensive end not at camp. Their first-round draft pick, Shemar Stewart, he's also holding out over some contract verbiage disputes.
Yeah.
Obviously, like, rookie contracts they're pretty standard pay wise. So I don't think that this is about the pay. It's literally something about the language in the contract that he doesn't want.
Yeah. So based on, I mean, there's the CBA agreement, I believe it is. There's an
Mhm.
agreement that wherever you were drafted, pick 1, 2, 3, whatever, he was
Mhm.
17th, I believe, you make this amount of money. But to my understanding, he's trying to change the language that allows the team to void future guarantees. So in that same contract. So
Mhm.
the Bengals couldn't void guaranteed money even if he got injured or underperformed. Now, ironically, the Bengals have done this to past first rounds recently, like Miles Murphy and Amarius Mims. So it's not like they won't do this, but they're putting their foot down about him. And it's weird. It's
Yeah.
another awkward situation.
It
Like,
is awkward.
you've just done this the past couple years.
So why now?
Why are we making a stand now? Why not take care of your guys? Like,
And it seems odd that the Bengals are having issues with 2 players. It like makes me question like what's going on over there? Like, is this ownership, management of the team? Like, what's going on?
yeah. And I mean, and I'm high on the Bengals this year. I think Burrow is somebody who could win the MVP if they do well, but as this is a weird situation that doesn't make full sense, just pay them, right? You need both of them on the field.
Just pay them.
Just pay them. As far as as far as I've seen, they have the money though. So they have the money to pay Hendrickson, and they've already changed contracts for other draft picks. I looked their books over. Well, you can see their cap space.
I know you can. I'm just giving you shit.
Yeah. I just get it done. Just get it done. 16 million is what he's making now. And Channing saying that Rodgers is now married to Brittany Griner. I feel like their politics are way different, so I don't think that would work out. But maybe since Brittany Griner may be a man, maybe that's why he doesn't want people to know about it.
Stop. Would you just stop?
What? I didn't say she was. I said she may be. Are you looking it up now?
No, I'm looking at the wrong thing. I need to know who he married.
I need to know who he married.
Aaron Rodgers' wife.
Aaron Rodgers' wife. What is it telling you? We are Googling on the spot for everybody to know.
She's keeping her identity secret. Yeah, I wouldn't want to admit that I'm married to him either. So I'm right there with you.
Fair enough.
All right. Justin, you have a bottle lock bet for us.
I do.
Yes. So I'm going to let you break that down.
Yeah.
What is this?
New segment. So for those of us in the betting community, you've probably seen the ladder type bets where they're like, let's turn $10 into 10,000 or whatever. Never works out. They always lose around bet 4 or 5, I feel like, which is fine. The idea is a little silly, but we're going to try something a little different. That's sort of the same concept, sort of not. So we're not looking to get rich here. We're not looking to turn $10 into 10,000. We're looking to buy a new bottle of whiskey. So we're saying, hey, we got $20, which we could buy Evan Williams Bottle and Bond. Great whiskey. I like Evan Williams Bottle and Bond. But we're going to see if maybe we can get something a little nicer. Maybe some a little more expensive. So here's how it's going to work. As we build, we're going to have 1 or 2 bets each week that we lock in the bottle. And they're small bets. Remember, you're not looking to get rich. You're just trying to get a little bit better of a little bit better whiskey than Evan Williams Bottle and Bond. Again, nothing wrong with Evan Williams Bottle and Bond. But anyways, for our first bottle lock bet, we have 2 here.
Okay.
The first one is just a straight bet, no parlay. I know you'll love that because I always tend to lose the parlays.
I'm tired of your parlays.
I know you are. So these are both CFL too, because you can't bet the NFL right now. I mean, you can take futures bets, but then it's going to take forever to get our bottle. We want our bottles soon. So we're going to build here. We're starting with $20. Vernon Adams over 1.5 passing touchdowns. That's at plus 102. $10 will pay you 2020. That's part 1 of this. Okay.
Okay.
So you got that bet. So even if we don't hit this second one, we still got $20 to still play with. Or we could cash out and buy our bottle of Evan Williams. Said, hey, we tried to make more. We just ended up with the same. Hopefully they don't both lose because then you go without whiskey for the month. But the second one is what's called a watered down parlay. So water down your parlays, not your whiskey. That's all I have to say. Don't water down your whiskey, but water down your parlays. So these are all alt lines. You're taking lower lines than what the books actually have, and you're parlaying it together. Again, this is CFL. So we got Justin McInnis, 40 receiving yards, Nathan Rourke, 1+ passing touchdowns, William Stanback, 30+ rushing yards, Greg Bell, 30+ rushing yards, and Samuel Emilis, who just went for like 100-some yards, 40+ receiving yards. That's plus 116. So $10 will pay you $25.49. So we're taking our Evan Williams bottle and bond. We're keeping it on the shelf. We're betting $20 to hopefully make $45.69. And then we'll keep building. We'll see how nice of a bottle we can afford.
Okay.
But that's my first 2 bottle lock bets. I'm putting them in the bottle. I'm locking them down. These are the bets. So get them in today, and hopefully you can build another bottle of whiskey. And speaking of whiskey,
Yeah.
great transition into remind everybody what we're drinking today.
Yes, we are drinking. It is Top Shelf June, and we are drinking Weller Antique 107.
We are drinking Weller Antique 107. I almost said Weller Wantique. I don't know why.
Don't be a pash rusher.
A pash rusher. Jamie checking in. Jamie, you
God.
just missed the bets. It was right after the NFL talk, but cheers to you. I don't remember what I said month 2. Sorry, Channing.
I'm trying to think back to it. You said month 2 as well.
You know, when you're a degenerate gambler, when you bet on the UFL, that was the CFL, sir, the Canadian Football League, but I also bet on the UFL, Michigan -3 and over 50.5 points, and $40 or $45.69. Jamie saying, LOL 69. Nice. Anyways, tell everybody a little bit about Weller, and I will pour us some samples.
Okay, you do that. If you know even a little bit about whiskey, we're sure you've heard of Weller, named after William LaRue Weller. I'm not really going to go into all of the background and history for you because it's made by Buffalo Trace. So I'm going to urge you to go back to our Buffalo Trace episode not too long ago.
No, we just did that.
I should have grabbed the episode number for you guys, but we broke down the history, gave you all that information about the distillery.
Just go through all our podcasts till you find
Just
it. Just start listening to them.
Loop it back. But yeah, so we talked about Buffalo Trace. We talked about the distillery, all the important players, including Weller. He's more commonly known as W.L. Weller or just Weller. He was a whiskey pioneer. He became known and credited by many for being the first to produce Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey using wheat instead of rye in the mash bill.
Which I would like to say, I mean, we've obviously had Weller before.
Mm-hmm.
Weller 12 was one of your first, like, oh, wow, whiskeys.
Mm-hmm.
But you normally don't like wheated bourbons.
I normally don't.
Yeah.
This is true. I like Weller Special Reserve.
Mm-hmm.
I like Weller 12.
Yeah. Don't bury the lead on what you
I won't
think of this
bury the
one.
lead on this one. But no, normally when we're trying other wheated bourbons, I kind of steer clear. I love my rye. It has just gives it more.
Right.
But anyway, that's not what we're talking about. Weller's wheated bourbon became so popular that...
Go on. Sorry. I just remembered what I said a month to.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it became really popular that Weller was forced to put a green thumbprint on the barrels so that customers knew they were actually receiving the real deal.
A lot of copycats. Antique 107 is called 107 because it's 107 proof.
Yes. It is also it's hard to find.
Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm.
This particular one we're drinking is from the Sazerac Barrel Select, selected by the Iowa Restaurant Association. I don't know why it's called the Sazerac Barrel. I mean, it's a Sazerac company, but it has nothing to do with an actual Sazerac, just to clarify that. But yeah, Channing also pointing out, no whiskey for a month if you lose both bets. You just got to stick with the whiskey you have. Just no new whiskey, I guess. No new whiskey. Also, I did not move our clicker. I'm terrible at that. I was really good the first couple weeks we brought it back. I will blame being sick on the fact that my brain isn't 100% there. Let's build a little taste profile on this.
Okay. Well, I was going to say, with it being hard to find, we got it at a auction type thing at some event.
Yeah. Shout out to Andrew Thorne, a buddy of ours who called us up. He's like, hey, I know you got the podcast. I know you like whiskey. I'm at this auction right now, which was actually for a beer brewing event, but they rested the beer in whiskey barrels, I believe. He said, they got Weller Antique 107. Do you want me to try to win it for you? And I'm like looking up the price, and I think it normally retails for around $150. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, we would go up to half that. We'd go up to like 75.
We got it for less than half.
And we got it for less than that. So I was pleasantly surprised. Maybe all the beer drinkers there were like, I don't want whiskey. I don't know. It went really cheap though. So, and we benefited. So cheers to Andrew Thorne, aka Flounder. Why Flounder? I don't know, but it's a tale for another time. Let's build our profile.
Yeah. So did you do it already?
No, I did not. I was waiting on you.
What do you? No, I don't like that pressure.
You know?
No, I don't. It smells strong on the nose. And I think that's part of why, I don't know.
I don't smell it strong on the nose. I smell a lot of caramel, though.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of caramel.
And oak. Caramel and oak. I don't really get, sometimes you can really smell the grain in there. I don't smell corn, but I do get that caramely oak out of it.
Why don't we score it while we're going too? Because otherwise we tend to forget. So on the nose score, this smells really pleasant. Caramel oak. It smells like a traditional bourbon, but not in the way that Blanton's last week did. I think this smells a little bit better than Blanton's. It has a little bit more that stands out to me.
It's spicier on the nose.
But it's spicy. Well, and it is 107, so it should be. It should.
I'm
pack
still
more
going
heat.
to 3.
3. See, I like it a little bit more, so I'm gonna go. Let's go 3.4. Not quite a 3.5, a 3.4.
Why is it not 3.5? If you're going over 3, why is it not just 3.5?
Because it is still just, there's not a lot that. It's not a lot of different from what you smell in a standard bourbon. There's not a lot different, but it does smell better. I don't know how to explain it. It just smells better than Blanton's. Maybe it's because it smells sweeter. I don't know.
I don't know that it does smell sweet though.
It smells sweet to me.
There is some caramel there, but I don't know that it's like super sweet.
We should back this with my score may not be 100% accurate on what it would be normally, because for the past week I've had basically toast and crackers. So this probably is giving a lot more flavor.
I don't even know
normal.
if your stomach can handle this tonight.
We'll find out.
Okay.
You're going right into the taste. All right, go right into the taste.
And see,
it's got heat.
It has heat.
Yeah, you get the 107.
I have
heat.
had higher proof whiskeys drink so much easier than this.
Yeah, true.
And so for me, this was kind of rough. When we compared, because before we did this, before we had the idea of doing like Top Shelf June, we compared all of these whiskeys.
Yeah.
And I don't know, even when we first opened this, I wasn't as impressed as I thought I was going to be. It let me down.
It let you down.
I like
really?
Special Reserve better than this.
Okay.
And for the price point, you would think that this would be better.
Yeah. Okay. I would agree with that when you're comparing it with the price point. I don't know. It's interesting. I got to do another taste. So
okay.
You talk about something while I'm.
What do you want me to talk about? It has heat. Like my mouth is on fire. My esophagus is burning.
You're going to think I'm crazy.
Oh gosh. You're going to pull like a Snickers out of your like I taste Snickers.
Please don't say I'm going to pull out a Snickers out of my when I just chewed it, I got the heat, but I got some floral as well. It was like a little dose of
it's the antique oak coming through.
No, it's floral. I mean, you get a little dose of like
floral?
A floral note. Chew it a little. Chew it.
I did chew it. I just chewed it.
Did you?
Yeah.
I just chewed it. Don't tell me what to do, motherfucker. That's what that came across like. There's a little floralness to it. I think of like when I have an old fashioned with elderflower and the florally.
This is not elderflower.
No. It's not elderflower, but that florally notes that you get. I'm getting that with this. Not the same, but
I'm getting a lot of oak. It's very oaky.
Very oaky. Oaky afterbirth.
Very oaky. And it's dry. It's leaving my mouth dry. Do you know like if you drink a dry wine?
Yeah.
But this is not wine finished.
No, it's not.
But it's leaving my mouth dry. I know like I'm trying not to be biased because I already determined before that I don't care for this.
That's fair.
But I mean, you can tell it's a bourbon.
Yeah.
But
Oh, yeah.
it's they turned up the heat on it.
Mm-hmm. Turned up the heat.
Mm-hmm. I feel like I need to like sip on this several times. I will say, in the old fashioned, because I'm getting ahead of us.
Yeah, no,
here,
go for it.
But it stood out.
It did
because of the heat.
I thought it was pretty good in the old fashioned.
I did too, but
This
you wouldn't buy this bottle and put it in a drink.
No, you really wouldn't. This is not something you would spend $150 on normally and say, hey, this will be a great cocktail mixer.
But it was really good in the old fashioned.
It was. I agree with that. What would you score it in the old fashioned?
A 4.
That's exactly what I would score it as well. Not a blow your mind thing, but it
did not blow my mind, but it stood out.
And it tasted good.
More than like just a plain old fashioned.
Yeah.
It like, oh, there's something good in this.
Yeah. All right. The taste, I gave it a 3.6 because I like the taste better than you do. It's not great. It's not actually, I'm knocking it down to a 3.4 with the nose.
You 3.4.
Yeah.
What is this?
Not quite a 3.5, but the 3.4, I do think it's pleasant. It does have good heat. It's got the floral notes.
2.
Because
there are so many other bourbons.
That's fair.
Take out rye. I don't care. We're not talking about rye, but there are so many other bourbons I would grab before this.
Yeah, there are some for sure. Now,
and when you can buy the special reserve for cheaper, and it's to me, it's much more pleasant. I tend to like over time. I have liked higher
you're
proof.
Swinging me a little bit. 3.2.
Okay, just dropped it 0.2 points. Over time, I have liked higher proof whiskeys.
Yeah,
but this is not. This has more heat than like a.
Heat isn't always bad.
No, but the heat overpowers the flavor.
Okay, I can see why you would say that. Yeah, I can see that. I'm not going to argue with that. I still, when I chewed it, I got a lot more flavor.
Oak. You want to chew on some wood?
Floral.
No, I'm not
Oak
getting the floral.
Flowers.
I think this is
flowers. I think I said flowers. How about the bottle? Because it's a little different shaped. Very
it's
standard.
It's the classic Weller shaped bottle,
right? And label. What do you think on that for a score? It's hard to give it a bad score, but it's also for me hard to give it a great score because
there's nothing. Then they don't have to.
They don't have to
because it's the name. It's the name,
right?
So for the bottle, for me, I'm a 2.5.
2.5. Do you weight the bottle any because of the name?
No.
Brand recognition or anything.
I mean, everybody's gonna know. Oh, that's Weller.
Yeah. I'm just gonna go.
But I when I'm rating the bottle, it's like appeal.
Yeah. Okay.
And class.
I can see that. 2.8. I'll drop it 0.2 from my 3.
So, yeah, you definitely weighted this much higher than me, or rated it.
Yeah. This is a lot of math to do right now, but you gave it a 7, 9, 11.5 out of 20. Wow, what a bad score.
It's honest from me. That's my
fair.
opinion.
6, 10, 13.4 out of 20 for me. So we'll post that. If you follow our socials, you like Old Fashioned FB on Twitter, you can get right to the link. It's pinned to our sheet where we're tracking all this, so you can see who we've rated better, who we've rated worse. I believe the one at the bottom right now is Canadian Swear Jar. The one at the top right now is Keeper's Heart.
From what we've done, because we just started doing this.
We did just start doing this, yeah.
We need to go back and.
I think we will. I mean, I think that would be a fun thing to do.
Yeah, maybe outside of an episode, pull a few and do a tasting.
Yeah, absolutely. Now it is hard. I mean, I know whiskey tasters do it, but to me, isn't it hard to score if you're doing them on the same day?
I don't think so, because we did Blanton's, the Wellers, and
But
Eagle.
You're confident you can give them a unbiased score on each one.
Cleanse your palate. Smell some coffee beans.
All right, smell some coffee beans. Eat some crackers. Get a couple saltines in. I don't even want to think about saltines right now. That's all I've been eating. That's not true. I've had toast and applesauce. Did you have anything else you wanted to add?
Next week? You already mentioned we're doing Weller 12 next week.
We are doing Weller 12 next week. So go grab yourself a bottle so you can drink with us.
If you can find it. That's also, these ones, that's one of the things I don't I don't like how hard they are to find, but I guess that's
know.
part of the appeal to some people and
Sure.
also why they're top shelf whiskey.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it seems like we're trying to flex our wallets this month with our top shelf, but I promise we're not. We got the Blantons for $65. Again, we got this one for less than half of what it normally is. The Weller 12 was a birthday gift for you from me. And what do we finish in the year?
Eagle? Did we decide to do Eagle Rare?
I think so. Yeah.
Also a gift. So.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're not trying to flash our wallets, folks, and we're trying to get deals here. Anyways, do you have anything else you wanted to add?
No.
My old fashioned is almost gone. I was going to cheers you, but you're just looking at me. You're not. That's not an old fashioned. Cheers.